Alrighty, let's get going. Hello, everybody. Ashley Boyd here with the Science of Intuition. Judith, can you please introduce yourself and let us know what you do and how you serve people?
Yes, hello everybody. I'm so grateful that Ashley has invited me and we were just chatting. I'm so grateful that she's following her soul purpose and calling. I'm actually a soul reader because I read people's souls, which brings them back into their soul mission and purpose in life. And if you follow your soul purpose in life, you will often find that you just have a love for everything that you do, and you just wish to serve in the highest possible way that you can. I also am a writer and author. I've written 3 books. Two of them are available on Amazon. Soul Empowerment, because I believe that if you are soul empowered, you will live your purpose and calling with all that you are. And then also I've got one which was my own journey to awakening. I've always been awakened, but this was my total sort of like crash, like Ashley was saying. It happened to me in 2004 after I've been librarian all my life, and then and then I had this crash boom coming my way where everything literally crashed in my life. And I was asking myself some serious questions. What is happening here? Why is it happening to me? Whatever else. But it was the greatest wake-up call of my life. And since then, my life has taken a 360-degree turn. And I was given a vision at that time. I was actually heading for a nervous breakdown at that time. And my doctor said to me, well, you've got one chance. You can either carry on the way you are and have your total nervous breakdown, or you can start taking charge of your life. And well, I sort of like totally flabbergasted about that. But I was starting to pray about it and say, well, what am I supposed to do now? Because I've tried everything and I can't carry on this way. And I was given a vision. I was standing at the edge of a cliff. I was looking down into a valley below, and the valley was actually filled with thousands of people. And my higher guides were saying to me, how long are you going to stand at the edge of this cliff and finally do what you're supposed to do? And they said, when are you going to jump off this cliff? And I was shown, how does an eagle learn to fly? That's by mother kicking it out of its nest, and it's got to find its wings to fly. And next I put in my resignation, and it was like this weight had come off my shoulders. And today I say thank you that I had the guts to do that, because now I'm reaching thousands of people all over the world, and I'm really loving it, and I'm bringing the message out there. And I can just say thank you, thank you, thank you. So never be scared if everything starts disintegrating in your life, because it's actually a wake-up call to become real, to really follow your soul purpose and mission. That to me is what my whole sort of life is now about, to bring that knowledge, that awakening into humankind, so that we can all live soul-empowered lives. Because if you're empowered from within, you will go live your life with the deepest love that you have, and you will not shrink away from it, and you will love doing it, and whatever you love doing will come back to you in multiple ways. So thank you. Yes.
I love that, because it's so true. When you, like I was saying before we started recording, like I literally felt like I was insane. And a lot of people say those words like insane or crazy or breakdown. They get to this point where they just don't know what to do, and it's a sheer desperation mode. And I can honestly say that if you continue to go down that route, who knows what would happen. I mean, I was to the point where I was up for 4 days straight and had no idea what to do with myself. And all I had to do was ask for help. And that's what I've said before, is asking for help is the easiest but scariest thing, because you're unsure of what the help is going to bring you. But if you are so desperate that you're just willing to ask for that, and by asking, I mean, the shift that can occur in such a short duration of time, I'm talking about for myself, 12 hours, going from straight feeling psychotic to an absolute balance, that it's just a blessing in disguise when you do feel like your world is crashing down if you ask for help.
Yes, I do. And I mean, at that stage, I was actually very happy because with my whole milieu, it was actually, I was stepping into the sort of whole society sort of like a milieu where everything was coming back to it, everything was disintegrating. I even had, sort of like the community that I was working with were up in arms, and then I had sort of going this into court cases and whatever else, and I had death threats coming my way. So all of this was happening and ending things. And I actually found a book by Dr. John DeMartini called The Breakthrough Experience. And I decided that when I actually resigned, I decided that I will go and go there. And I tell you what, that actually helped me to get me back on track. Because the minute that I actually dissolved that emotional charge with the person that I had most problems with and realized how it was serving me, you get to the stage where you just have loving grace and your heart opens and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. You actually were perfect. You kicked my butt in gear that I finally went and did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
With that that I went through this whole change. With me, it was actually a few years that I had to go and find a totally new way of life. But I must say that I've always had supported as much as my family couldn't understand what was happening to me. You always will have people who want you to be right back in the old box that they are comfortable with. They can't handle the new you because now you are busy challenging them to break out of their own boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to do it. So they will like cling to the old you and they want you right back into the box where you don't belong in. And the thing is, we're bigger than a box. We're never supposed to be in a box. We're supposed to be our own unique self. We are supposed to bring our unique soul purpose and mission into planet Earth. When I do soul readings, a lot of people come back to me and they say to me, wow, I've always known this about myself. I've known it at a very deep level. And I actually burst into tears of recognition of themselves. And I say to them, yeah, but that is exactly, it's the truth of you. When we get, as children, we still live that. But then slowly but surely people start criticizing us. And especially if we get to school, we've got to conform into certain boxes where everybody wants to put us in. They put nice, neat labels there and they put boxes. But you know what? We're not supposed to fit into any box. But then we start shutting ourselves down. We start becoming what other people want us to become. And then we're miserable. One day, everything crashes in and we decide, no, this is not me. I've got to take charge of my own life again. So I say today, thank you for those times when everything crashes in. Thank you when crisis comes, because that's a great wake-up call of your life. It's right bringing you right back to the truth of who and what you are and what you have come in to do. And there's not one single soul who hasn't got a unique purpose to bring to this planet. Everybody is special in their own way. And the thing is, it doesn't matter, because Martin Luther King said it once. If God has called you to be a street sweeper, then be the best street sweeper that you can be. Go and be it. It doesn't matter. If you're called to be a mother, then be the best mother you can be. If you're called to be the president, then go and be the best president that you can be. But go and do it from your heart and soul and from the depths of your being, and go and blaze your trails wherever you are. And you will find that if you take charge of your own life and you go in the direction that you feel called to go, you will start impacting on the lives of others. So never, ever underestimate your own power to make a difference in the world in your own unique way.
Yeah, it's crazy once you feel the balance of being able to be comfortable with yourself, because everybody has their own personal story and everybody has to overcome things. But once you realize that it's just not worth to stay stagnant, to be unhappy, then once you get past that, it's like a whole new world. And for myself, realizing that I needed to empower people with the knowledge of science so they can let go of the tangible stuff. That's how I got over my own stuff. But I decided to shift super, super fast because that's how drastically sad I was. And I wanted to get over that hump. So my question to you would be, how did you learn to use your inner guidance system to help others find their purpose?
But I tell you what, when this crash came to me, I was starting to, at that moment, starting to have my third eye opening up. You're always suppressed to use your inner eye and your inner intuition, because your third eye and your inner intuition is actually one and the same. Because if some people see things visually, they will have like pictures in their mind. Some people will have an inner hearing, which is very much inner hearing of a voice or something that they hear in their voice, in their head, sorry. And some will just have a very deep knowing. That's all one intuitive system. It's one feedback system that we had, but it also is your inner soul, which your soul is always attached to your heart center, telling you the truth. And well, I was suddenly at that stage, and it's all in my book, Why I Was Born in Africa, because I asked myself, I was born in Africa at this stage, and that became a whole sort of book. But at that stage, I was starting to intuitively tap into energy fields that I had no idea what the heck this was, okay? So I was tapping into something that I didn't understand. B, I was called to go and do this work, and I had no idea what I was doing. But what I did there, in order to make it rational and to order to ground myself, I took a journal. I've got stacks of journals now. And I would write the date down, and then I would write down everything that happened at that stage. And it's so funny, because at one stage I got into my car and I just drove. I knew that wherever I was supposed to go, I would end up being exactly at that place. And then things would happen and I would get confirmation why I was in that place. So I was really going into my GPS system and following it. And I would sit down at coffee shops and just write down what I experienced on the journey. And people would come up to me and say, what are you doing? I said, well, you know what? I'm following the dream. I've always wanted to write a book, but now I've been called to write this book. And I'm doing it. And they would say, wow, you mean you are following your dream? I said, yes, I'm following my dream. And then they would get tears in their eyes. And I would say, well, what is your dream? What is your vision? What have you always wanted to do with your life? And they would get that far away look in their life, like they're looking into in the blue wild one yonder somewhere. And they say, well, I've always wanted to do this and that. I said, well, why are you not doing it? Oh, I haven't got money. I've got family to look after. Oh, I can't leave my job. And I say, well, what's stopping you? Mm-hmm. If you always put life on hold, you're never ever going to do what you want to do. And then I said to her, what is there a way that you can change that? And then, well, what are the options? They would start looking at the option, and suddenly everything in their face was just lit up. And they started to realize, no, it's not just a dream. I can actually start doing this. Mm-hmm. So you see, in my whole journey of searching for the truth and finding my own way, I was starting to inspire others to also go and look out for their dreams. So you must never actually underestimate how your life is changing other lives. Absolutely. In your search for the truth, you are helping other people to also find the truth. We're never an entity on our own. We're always part of the greater whole. And whatever we do has a ripple effect on the whole. That's a matrix field. And within this matrix field, everything slots in exactly where it is. Nothing is by chance. So if you are busy sending that positive energy out, you're going to have a ripple effect on the rest. Don't ever underestimate your own power to make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others.
I love that. That's so amazing, because it's so true. Like, it's like a spider web. And like I say with clients, that it's like the vibration that you're giving off, we all know that you'll attract like things just because of the law of attraction, law of frequency. But it's so true with the ripple effect. If you just share what your story and your passion is, your vibration is so high that people are attracted to that. And then they realize that they can do the same, because you're a living example of like taking the leap. And I think so many people are so nervous to take that leap. And I remember when I told my husband, like, I'm going to start coaching. And he's like, what? And I was like, people. And he's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, go for it. And thankfully he's super supportive, but some people just don't realize, like, it's not just like unicorn sprinkling dust on you. You have to take action, but that action can be baby steps, or it could be a huge jump. I'm the type of person that I have to take a big leap to make a huge shift. Some people, like one of my good friends, it's like a little breadcrumb. Like, she just does a little bit at a time. But the point being is that you attract people that are supposed to be in your life, because that's just the way that it's supposed to be. It's the law. Like I tell people, it's gravity. And it's just interesting the way that you put that with the ripple effect. It's so true. It's just the facts.
Mm-hmm. If you think of your soul as being energy, your soul is pure energy. We always think of this body as being real and solid, but actually it's not. It's the vibration we are in, which is the third sort of like dimensional vibration, was very sort of slow and dense or whatever else. But the higher you go in consciousness and the higher you go in dimensional state, the lighter you become, literally. That's why if people in the seventh dimension here, you won't see them with your physical eyes. They are different. They are in a different level. They are in a different frequency band and also vibrational frequency band. Now, at this moment, we are shifting from this third here to the fifth. So we sit there. And most people at the moment, they still sort of like slugging around here in this third D world. Now, this whole disintegration is actually to get you back so that you move in there. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we're not going to move in there if something doesn't give here.
Right.
So a lot of people at the moment, they're scared of this disintegration that's going on. But the thing is, this third dimensional state cannot live here forever. It's got to make up. We've got to evolve. We now got to move into this higher frequency band. And with any evolution that happens, if you look at the evolution of anything, something has to be destroyed in order for the new to come in. And life is that way. You cannot be reborn if you still cling to the old life. Mm-hmm. That is what most people are most scared of, because it gives them a sense of safety. But what is really safe? You've got no guarantees in life. You've got no guarantees in life. If you go into a relationship, you've got no degree of guarantee that this relationship is going to work. You have to take leaps of faith. It's the same thing if you want to start a new life, or if you're called to have a new life, you've got no guarantee. But that's the exciting thing about it. You can now go and make a list. You can go list and say, what is it that you really love doing? What is it that most inspires you? What it is that you can do day and night and you don't even get tired. You don't forget to eat. You forget to look at the watch. You just go and do it. And then go and do it. It doesn't matter what it is. If you are called to make some cupcakes and you love doing that, then go and do it. If you like working with kids, then go and work with kids. If you like inspiring people, then go inspire them. There's nothing stopping you. You can always go out and just say, okay, call friends together and say, come, let's have this group and I will give a talk or whatever. It doesn't take anything to start it. The thing, what it really starts is the love that you give into it. If you're a gardener and you love gardening, then go and garden. Start a garden club, whatever it is that gives you joy. If you are interested in a certain aspect of science, then go and get like-minded people to help, and you can have a group to talk. Whatever it is, go and do it. But most people want a pat on their back and they want somebody to hold their hands, to say, okay, I'm safe, So in case I take the next step, somebody's going to pick me up. Life isn't that way. Life wants you to be brave enough to go and step out and go and do something. And the funny thing is, when you take that leap of faith, you take that step, suddenly help comes and suddenly the people come to help you. That's the most magical thing. And then years later, you look back and you say, wow, look how far I've come. And that's the most amazing thing. You just feel this joy welling up in you and you say, wow, look, I did that. I was there, and look where I'm now. Wow. It's the joy of it.
It definitely is a huge realization once you look back. You're like, oh my God, I fought that for so long. Well, Judith, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. Can you let people know where they can find you on the web?
Yes, my address is http dot, well, whatever was www.judithkusel, that's Judith, Judith, and my surname is Kusel.com. So it's judithkusel.com. And you will see that I've got my soul readings there. I've got twin flame soul readings, which are all about relationships. I've got soul readings, which is all about your soul, your mission and purpose. And then I always have a birthday special. At the moment, I've got a Christmas festive season special on my soul readings, because I like people to find their purpose and mission and to remember who they are at soul level. So that is a special. I've got my books on sale. I've got courses that I give soul empowerment courses, and etc. etc. So you can just go onto my website. I'm also on Facebook. I've got a huge following there on Facebook, so you can come and have a look at it. And then it's also here I am on the show, and I'm so grateful that Ashley has invited me. And to me, it's always when I think that I can speak to you today over the internet, is just, to me, one of the most amazing miracles that was given to humankind, so that we can all now actually relate to each other, and we can talk to each other, across the world. And to me, that's one of the most amazing gifts that we've given to humankind, that we can communicate in this way. And thank you very much for inviting me, and bless you so much, Ashley. And I just wish that your work will grow from strength to strength, and that you will reach thousands of people all over the world, because it's such a beautiful and very necessary work that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Judith. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. And wow, just carry on with this amazing work. And and help your kids,